Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Can Samila Hokutara todo. I pray you guys are doing great. I pray that power that be blesses you guys all. Whatever name you may call it or that power. I'm here this morning saying hello. 51 degrees. It's saying today that we're going to go up to about 70. That's crazy. 70 degrees. But it'll start to go down during the week again. But we're getting close. We're getting close. Time already changed. It's sped up, and looks like summer is coming pretty soon. Well, at least spring. Anyway, guys, I'm here this morning. I got a comment. A young lady, if I'm not mistaken, asked me to speak about marriages in Palo and the circumstances of having a spouse or meeting a significant other, and the great possibilities of that relationship going wrong due to the fact that one might believe and practice a tradition and one might not, and that could create a problem. And she is absolutely right in what she said in some way. As far as the marriage part, I sent it to Tata Mfumbe's video. If I'm not mistaken, he made a video on marriage on Palo, so I'd rather her go there. Tata Mfumbe, if I'm not mistaken, has experienced it, so it's a better person to watch for that circumstance also, and for many more. There is a great possibility that the person that you meet does not practice what you practice. Now, this is the interesting part. See, I look at it as, you know, when you meet someone and you talk and you conversate and you go out, in those conversations, you would, you know, reach to a certain limit or to a certain level, depending how things are going and how you guys are seeing each other, how you guys feel. And at some point, it should be talked about. You know, hey, you know, what faith based system or tradition do you follow or agree upon or don't agree upon, and have these conversations ahead of time before you guys getting together, tying up the knot, you know what I'm saying? And then when it's too late, now you guys have problems. There have been many people out there that have, you know, met not just people in the ATRs that practice the ATRs, but also in other faith-based systems. You know, Jews usually don't go out their faith. They'll only go out with people that, or get married with people who are Jews. Muslims have more of they're a little more open as far as their traditions, because a Muslim could get married with a Muslim or with a Jew or with a Christian. Why? Because they believe in God and they believe in the prophets. But there's a catch to that, because some will not tell you, but the majority of the time It's because down the line, as you are involved in that matrimony, down the line, you're gonna have children, and those children are gonna be Muslims, not Jews and not Christians. You understand? Because that's how it is, in other words, ran. Or you will convert over to Islam. You understand? And that sort. And Christianity, the majority of the people, they are faithful Christians, are going to get married with another Christian, but they're going to get married with a Christian that's from their denomination, meaning from their doctrinal or doctrine teaching. They will not get Pentecostals not going to get married with a Jehovah Witness because they don't agree upon things like that. So that's how that will work. So it doesn't just happen in the ATRs. You have to be very careful. If you don't have, people have to have an open mind. And people should not get into these discussions. I mean, they could if they want, but why is it so important for somebody to worry about what another person practices or what is their faith? I mean, if your matrimony or your love to one another is based on just a faith-based system or a tradition, then I don't really even see the point of getting together, because we all not going to accept to follow the same things or to believe the same things. Then the other question is, how much does a person believe and practice what they preach? Because you see, the majority of Latinos and African Americans are Christian. The majority. I'm not saying that there's none that follow other faith-based and other traditions. But when you speak to a Latino and African American, the majority, you ask, what are you? I was raised in a Christian background. My family's Christian. We're Baptist, whether Lutheran, whatever denomination. But do they practice? See, that's a different story. When people ask me what I follow, right, and I don't feel like telling them anything, I tell them I'm Christian. That's it. And they don't ask me no denomination. They don't ask me nothing. They just say I'm Christian, and that's it. And they leave you alone. In some way, I would see that it would be better to talk to the person and let them know what is your belief system, what do you follow, what do you practice. But I also believe that people should respect another person's tradition or practice. Because a belief or a practice of a custom or of a tradition, it's more like personal. You understand? It's more personal. As long as I'm not doing no harm to my significant other, that I don't believe that there should be a problem because of what I believe or what I practice. Now, I understand where things could get a little bit off track, but these are different practices that don't have anything in common, or maybe have some things in common or don't. Okay, what you want me to explain? I'll explain to you. A lot of Christian people, a lot, not all, but a lot, follow Christmas with a tree. And they say that's Christian. But in all reality, Christmas is a pagan religion. Because when you look into the scriptures, there's a story about how they used to cut trees. One will go into the country with an axe, cut a tree, bring it to their house, make it stand upright, and with nails, bang nails on it if it could be straight. Then they will deck it with silver and gold. And before it was a pine tree, it was something else. I don't remember right now. And people kind of worshiped that tree. It was a form that when you put the gifts under the tree, when you bend over to put the gifts under the tree, it's like you're bending over, paying reverence to that goddess of that tree or that god. And you were giving gifts to the tree. Because it was believed that if you didn't give gifts to that god or goddess, because some even reference it to a goddess, it will take your life. You will die. And that little bit that's written in the scriptures, and that God forbade the Israelites from cutting trees and putting them in their house and decking them with gold and silver. And back in the days when I was growing up, that's what my mom used to do. My mom used to go buy a live tree from the people that used to sell them. They used to sell these stands, these three-legged stands where you put it in. You used to put water before, put it in, and you screw it up and stand it up straight. And then she'll buy these silver, gold, and blue long things, and it was like glittery. And they even saw this glitter that you would throw on it, and it will like stringy. So even that in the scriptures, it was against the Israelites for them to do because it was considered paganism. So this is where some traditions might conflict with each other, because if it's a Muslim, he doesn't believe in Christian, and that's paganism to him. You understand? If you're a Christian, you don't believe in Muhammad as a prophet. You understand? So that's a problem. So I understand the barriers. I understand where this comes from. I can relate to it. You know, I've been there. You understand? So is it more practical for you to find someone that at least follows your tradition in some way? Yes, it will be much easier and more simpler. You would avoid that issue with finding someone that doesn't respect your tradition or what you follow, doesn't care, and feel as though that that the time that you spend in whatever religious organization or tradition is like time being taken away from that other person. And since they're not initiated, they cannot go or be involved in certain things that only you can. And then here, this is where the jealousy might start coming in and stuff like that. So it's understandable. Yeah, I understand. And you're right, to who left that comment. The lady, or the young lady that left the comment. I would not everybody these days are the same. You understand? It ain't so rough like back in the days. Nowadays, people are more understanding and people are more respectful. Because of this new generation is different. Some people just don't care. Because as long as it doesn't hinder them in any way with you, then they don't bother it. And in all reality, you might even pull that person in, or that might intrigue that person to maybe want to look to see if that's something that's part of them or cause them, because how you are. So it could benefit in one way, and it could also hurt in another. It's it's a sword with two edges. It all depends, and it's very how can I say, like, it's very individual. Like, it's not everybody's gonna go through this. I might find a person, well, I can't, I'm married, but I might find a person, let's say if I wasn't with nobody, that doesn't practice anything, is an atheist. And here I follow a Bantu or Afro-Cuban tradition, and the other person don't care, doesn't bother them. They don't believe in anything. They skeptical. They don't care. But then if I find myself a Christian that either practices it or not, because this is the whole point. Once they raise Christian, a lot of people see these practices as demonic without not even understanding what it's about. And when I say Christian, I'm talking about mostly the how can we call, what's the word for it? The denominations that are not Catholic. Like the evangelics, the missionaries and stuff like that. Not these people, they won't take that. Because we know there are a lot of Catholic people follow other traditions and spiritualities. But yeah, it's a complicated one. It's one that before I would, if I was in that situation, would at some point, sometime before anything gets bigger, more serious, I would bring that issue and that I will bring that factor in, and I will explain to the person, this is what this is my tradition, this is what I do. There's times where I go out and I go to religious ceremonies, and this is that. There's times when people are going to have to come here because I have to do certain things. I'm a priestess, I'm a priest, or I'm just a practitioner, and this is what I do. And and make it clear that you don't have no problems. Other than that, if anyone else out there want to add something to the video, guys, make a video, put it out there, give information, help people out, especially our brothers and sisters. We could help them not make the mistakes that we have made in the future. But they won't make these things in the future. And the mistakes that we already have made in the past, they don't make in the future. That's what I'm trying to say. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, have a great day. Be blessed. Keep it moving. Keep it moving like a choo-choo. Choo-choo!